Hurricane Beryl is thrashing Jamaica.
Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Ian Cassette is here joining us now. Ian, this is terrible for the people living there.
We're talking about a major hurricane in July too. I think it's kind of easy to forget that this is something we see this later in the season, but we're talking about this in July, and so there's a lot of vacationers, obviously a lot of locals that live in Jamaica, and they are resilient people, but this is going to be a historic storm that's going to leave major impacts to especially the southern coast of the island. Now you're looking at the visible satellite. You can faintly see that canopy that's covering the eye wall. It's there because we know this. It's a major hurricane, Category 4 strength winds. It's weakened slightly here over the last 24 hours, but it still has shown that resilience that it has had itself, given the very warm, record-setting temperatures that we've had here in this part of the Caribbean and overall sea surface temperatures. So this storm is expected to continue westward, and next up would be the Cayman Islands, as it's going to pass likely just to the south of those islands. Obviously another place that is very popular this time of the year to visit. As you go westward, Category 2 storm heading towards the Yucatan Peninsula, and though it may be a weaker storm because wind shear, some of the higher winds aloft kind of weakening this, it's still expected to be a strong hurricane, and that would lead to impacts. Now, as it goes over land, it'll weaken further into a tropical storm by this weekend, and then turn slightly northward, where it could move towards Texas. Though I'm going to show you here what the spaghetti models are saying, as we have a high pressure ridge, that's why it's also really hot over us. That's kind of guiding this to the west. It may turn towards the north towards Texas, but that seems to be less likely compared to something along the most northern part of Mexico there, just in southern parts of Texas. Now, we don't get too focused on exactly where because the impacts are much wider, just like we talk about with the cones. So there's still going to be some plenty of impacts to southern Texas. Tropical storm force winds I would expect, and some heavy rain. But as we look at the winds, it's going to continue passing to the west through Cozumel there, and I meant to show you pause points here. So it's going to continue passing towards the northwest, and then by Sunday, as the model shows, approaching most northeastern part of Mexico here, South Padre Island there in Texas by Sunday morning. So we'll watch this all the way through, but it seems to be the most likely scenario of it coming towards northeast Mexico as a potential hurricane. We know that these warm temperatures in the ocean definitely drive the storm strength. So we're going to watch that all the way through. No impacts here in Florida, nothing for your vacation. If you're vacationing here, should be fine. There is another system behind this. Most models have backed off on its formation, but it is a 20% chance of developing over the next 7 days. It's likely to lead some winds and rain there for the Lesser Antilles. Obviously, just saw just experienced Beryl days earlier. Here's a view now. We have our view from our Girls Lakeside camera, Lake Fairview, rising cumulus clouds, a few of these leading to some rain and storms. In fact, you can look there, see that rain shaft coming down, and we're going to have periodic showers and storms. It's 94 degrees. It's real hot here in central Florida. Most of the storms are inland, as the sea breeze has pushed westward, and we're going to likely see storms developing along this line from DeLand through Lake County, Wekiva, down to even the parks, then drifting slowly to the west. And I think this is the pattern we'll have for tomorrow. So DeLand, some heavier rain, nothing severe, but potentially from a lot of lightning with these storms as well as they do form, and torrential downpours. Ocoee right now getting some heavy rain. Tomorrow, afternoon showers and storms, quiet in the morning, very humid, temperatures in the 90s. It's going to be really important that you stay cool and hydrated, because we'll have temperatures right back into the mid-90s in inland areas with light winds. You're not really going to get a whole lot of relief other than the rain, and feels like temperatures that will get dangerous, up to 107 degrees in Orlando, maybe even 110 degrees in Bushnell before those storms do arrive. So stay cool and hydrated out there. You'll absolutely need it. We'll have lingering rain chances here this evening. Most of us will quiet down. I do expect tomorrow through the day we'll start out quiet. As we get into the afternoon, the best chance of rain will be first about 1 o'clock, developing around Orlando, maybe along that sea breeze, and then better rain chances from I-4 westward. So Lake County, Claremont towards Tampa Bay, we'll have an opportunity for storms by mid-afternoon, pushing towards Ocala and Gainesville by the evening. But I do think in time for the fireworks, things will settle down. So we'll have better weather for fireworks once the sun does set. Your 7-day forecast, hot and stormy here through the weekend. Temperatures in the mid-90s. And stay cool, stay hydrated, and have a safe holiday.